Buenos dias, buenas tardes, y buenas noches. Bonjour, bonsoir. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be. J Slater case. Plain white background and cap on backwards means it is the AG Focus or the Sunday roast. Well, today's Tuesday, August 11th. It is the delayed Sunday roast, one that was not planned. But hey, I just saw, of course, on the Lord Lugworm channel something that had to go challenged. And here we go. So it is roast, Welsh roast lamb on the menu yet again. But I think this is a meal we all deserve. So, on the Lord Lugworm channel, El Slugtardo has been challenging one Jason Rose, TikToker Jason Rose, who Luggy says is also Jason Penrose. Although Luggy's also put out that the name associated with Jason Rose on social media is Pep Rose, and that's why I said it looks like a certain number of AG members can't tell the difference between the letter N and P. You want to make your mind up here. Is Jason Rose Pep Rose or Penrose? There's a hell of a difference when one letter changes someone's last name. But that wasn't really what I wanted to focus on. I wanted to focus on some of the absolute stupidities and absurdities that came out of El Slugtardo's mouth. Well, El Slugtardo's typing finger, because El Slugtardo these days, like the rest of the AG, doesn't even have the ability to make a face on camera video. It is now beyond all of their collective capabilities to actually do this, sit down and communicate with the world verbally. It all has to be written, edited, deleted, changed, formatted, removed, what have you. But there we go. The typing, the ever frantically typing Luggy came out with this. Addressing Jason Rose, he said, "You are hereby outed for being an ugly MOF who had to use AI to make Luggy look ugly." There's the classic line there. Yeah, you had to use. He's telling Jason Rose, Jason had to use AI to make Luggy look ugly. Now, I guess it's because Jason on TikTok has, taken some kind of caricature face or used AI to make Luggy, I would say, even uglier. Because this is my point, Luggy. If you really think AI is needed to make you look ugly, then I will repost one or two pics of you that are indeed remarkably ugly. So what I would say is, El Slugtardo, definitely AI is not needed to make you look ugly. Not at all. But I would suggest that Jason Rose has perhaps used AI to make you even uglier beyond the normal realms of ugly. And that is the truth. And to make you look a little more comical. But it may well be that Jason Rose doesn't have the absolute gullery of ugly mug shots. Your fizzog that looks worn, that looks absolutely aged beyond belief. So, just to remind the world that AI is not needed at any point to make Luggy look ugly, ugly Luggy, I'll post that later. But I thought that was funny. Yeah, you have to use AI to make Luggy look ugly. No, not true. We've got another one of these, of no importance to me. So on the Lord Lugworm channel, Luggy says, Jason is of no importance to me. How many times have we heard that? Actions speak louder than words, Slugtardo. When you have written line after line after line after line, hundreds of lines on the two last posts, it's all about Jason Rose. And then you try to make us believe that Jason is no importance to you. It doesn't work. You've done the same with me. Yeah, dumb, cant, or what have you is of no importance to me. And yet we have hundreds, if not thousands of lines of waffle, time spent either using AI to write a script or writing it himself. No, the proof right there, Luggy, is that Jason is of importance to you, and so am I, and that is why you keep writing about us. But I do get I do smile. I do get a kick out of Luggy doing this. Oh, of no importance to me, but let me spend the next 20 minutes writing something about how this person is of no importance to me. And then we have when Luggy switches from Jason Rose to talking about Jason Penrose. Luggy says, thought he got away with targeting Luggy for the past 2 years on TikTok. thought he got away with targeting Luggy for the past 2 years on TikTok. No, Luggy, Jason did get away with targeting you for the last 2 years on TikTok. There's no doubt about it. If you go back 2 years, Luggy, and look to see when Jason started taking the piss out of you remorselessly on TikTok, not only did he target you, whatever that means, but he succeeded. He's had a constant flow of good laughs, jokes, and ribbing of El Slugtardo. So to me, there's no kind of thought you could get away with it. He did. And he still does. And I'm hoping he still will. But there we go. And then he says, unlucky, Jason, you were wrong about that also. Well, that's curious, Luggy. What's Jason wrong about? He's wrong that he couldn't target you for 2 years? Well, he did. He succeeded. Job done. What do you mean? You were wrong about that. He's right about that. It's all out there on TikTok. Or it was. Maybe Jason's taken it down. I don't know. But yeah, we had a jolly good laugh, Luggy, for 2 years at your expense. The person that got outed, Luggy, was you. Outed as the total fishguard fairy fool that you are. And it was fun. So thank you, Jason, for taking 2 years to do that. Yeah, I mean, how can you argue with it? Jason did it. It was 2 years worth. And Luggy can't deny that. Let's get into the meat and drink of Luggy's detective abilities, because he's really come a cropper here. He's out there saying that Jason Rose, the TikTok guy Jason Rose, and there are several Jason Roses on TikTok. If you want to see the whole lot of them, quite why Luggy thinks he's got the right one, I don't know. But interestingly enough, Luggy does actually specify his full name. Luggy's on record, and this is where he's got to be a bit careful. He's specified that the Jason Rose he's targeting here is Jason Asher Penrose. Ooh, interesting. If you Google Jason Asher Penrose, are you absolutely sure that that is the same person as the Jason Rose on TikTok that Luggy is so upset about? I don't think so. And this is where El Slugtardo might have slipped up, because he hasn't disguised the name. He hasn't put like a dollar sign for the S. He hasn't disguised it to confuse the YouTube robot. He's got it out there. Jason Asher Penrose. So, El Slugtardo, if you've got that wrong, if Jason Asher Penrose is not the person you are lambasting as Jason Rose, you, legally, El Slugtardo, could be in big trouble. Let us hope so. So, yeah, and then the accusation is that the Jason Rose who targeted Luggy for 2 years on TikTok is the same Jason Penrose who was convicted of stalking the actress Claire Foy. But there's a problem here. There's a big problem here. How do you know it's the same person? Because even the BBC and the Guardian can't agree on exactly who this Jason Penrose is that was convicted. BBC in 2022, on 22nd of July 2022, the BBC report said that Penrose, the stalker, was 39 years old, i.e. he was born in 1983. The Guardian said no, that the Jason Penrose stalker was born in 74. He's 49 years old in 2023. So if those two can't agree, what the hell hope is there for the non-detective El Slugtardo getting this right? Well, of course, Sluggy can't get it right because he doesn't know what he's talking about. Let me quote Sluggy's exact words. On his channel, Sluggy says, Jason Penrose, born 70 to 73. Well, that's a 3-year difference there, Sluggy. What do you mean? If Jason Penrose was born 70 to 73, are different limbs or parts of his body coming out over a 3-year period? Poor Mrs. Penrose gave birth to someone over a 3-year period, like in 70, the 2 legs popped out, 71, the chest popped out, 72, the head popped out, and 73, 2 little arms came out. How, El Slugtardo, can any person, let alone a Jason Penrose you don't know anything about, how can any person be born over a 3-year period? It's not possible. Born 70 to 73, Sluggy, means you don't know when Jason Penrose was born. If you did, and you did your research and you nailed it, you'd give us the year he was born. But like the Guardian, like the BBC, you're guessing. The only problem here is, El Slugtardo, you guessed so ridiculously, you made it sound like Jason Penrose was born in different stages over a 3-year period. You bloody dimwit. Jason Penrose was not born 70 to 73. He was born on a specific day in a specific year. So when you've completed your research and you're sure which Jason Penrose born in which year you're talking about, Luggy, get back to us. In the meantime, let us just have a good laugh at more things that you've said. So you said, oh yeah, I like this one. The Guardian said, in the Guardian article about the Jason Penrose that stalked the actress Claire Foy, Guardian said the court heard that he would return to Florida to live with his mother. Florida to live with his mother. Now then, because I believe the Guardian have got that right, that the Jason Penrose is an American, the Jason Penrose that was convicted for stalking is an American, and they've listed Florida as his home state. Where is the evidence, El Slugtardo, that the Jason Asher Penrose you named is also from Florida? Because in the cursory search I did, there is no Jason Asher Penrose, and I could find no Jason A. Penrose for Florida. So once again, I think you have, El Slugtardo, screwed up big time, but this time, having actually named a person in full, you may well be in some kind of legal jeopardy. Let's see where you go with it, El Slugtardo. Let's see what your follow-up post will be. Because Jason Asher Penrose, whoever he is, if he ain't the one in Florida and he ain't the stalker, and he ain't the Jason Rose on TikTok that you're targeting, has got a wonderful case against you here. Wonderful case. Let's see what happens. Luggy also says, has the cat got your voice? Has the cat got your voice? Pot calling the kettle black here, because if Luggy's challenging Jason Rose to go on TikTok Live and actually voice his thoughts, his arguments, his concerns, then I would say, where are you, El Slugtardo? Where have you disappeared to? Where's your tongue? Yeah, cat's got your tongue? Like I say, you can't even do this. I have done hundreds and hundreds of videos, unedited. There's no script. I am talking off the top of my head. Where are your oratorical skills, Luggy? Where are your abilities to actually communicate voice to voice? Where are you out there doing a live? Once again, I challenge you, just get on a live with me. We'll structure it. We'll have a certain amount of time each. You speak, I speak. Why can't you do this? My theory here is, Luggy, if you and no one in the AG can actually make a video of yourselves talking, how the hell do you expect to get through some kind of debate with me or Jason Rose or anyone? It is just pathetic. When are you guys going to find your bollocks and actually talk about something? You know, for example, we got Gobshite there. Gobshite is all in with the Palestinian cause. Yeah, she keeps posting and posting and posting and posting about the horrors of what's going on in Gaza. That's fine. But if you were really, really concerned about this type of thing, Gobshite, why don't you just do a video so we can all hear your passion and your horror and your commitment to this cause? Why is it all cut, paste, type, delete, edit, post? And I'm even prepared, if you want to humiliate me, because what do I know about Gaza and Palestine? I'm even prepared to debate you on that subject. In fact, Gobshite, Luggy, any of you out there, I'm happy to debate you on any subject of your choosing. You choose a subject so that you will absolutely thrash me, devastate me in a live. But why don't you do it? Cat got your tongue? Was that the Luggy's phrase? Has the cat got your voice? Other way around, Sluggy. You and your minions are totally incapable of putting a voice or a face out there in video format. So all of this talk, Sluggy, about, yeah, Jason, has the cat got your voice? What happened to your voice, Sluggy? What happened to your voice? What happened to your persona? What happened to your ability to actually communicate with the world? Where's it gone? Did Matt Perney knock the hell of a shite out of you so much you can't even put your face on camera these days? I don't know what happened, but Sluggy all of a sudden cannot communicate with the world in any effective way. And I'll leave you with this. Luggy also said, talking about Jason Rose, unless you get on TikTok Live, then Luggy is proven correct. Let me change it around. Luggy, unless you agree to do a live with me, then I am proven correct. Everything I have said, Luggy, can be challenged by you if you just get on a live with me. If you can't get on a live with me and accept that challenge, Luggy, then can we not say that Duncan has been proven correct? That is the challenge of the day, Luggy. Let's turn the whole challenge to Jason Rose around and say, first of all, before you and Jason Rose get it on, yeah, in a TikTok live, you, El Slugtardo, you do a live with me, prove that you can do it, and if you don't, if you can't accept that challenge, can we all say, Sluggy, that I have been proven correct? Go to the Lord Lugworm channel, read the absolute nonsense that's there, and have a good laugh. It's worth it. More later. Hasta luego, hasta la vista, and adios. See you next time.